Okay. Good morning, everybody. This is Barbara with the Licata Group, and I wanted to introduce Selina Kim. She's with Summit Mortgage, and we're going to have a little mortgage talk this morning. So, Selina, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name's Selena, like Barbara introduced. I'm from Summit Mortgage Corporation. I'm a loan officer. I have been in Fredericksburg for about almost 4 years, and I really love enjoying, introducing people to this side of the real estate, right?
Absolutely. And we were just talking about how important the mortgage part is, and especially in the beginning of your search. So we were talking about how some people are afraid to apply for a mortgage, or they think they can't, they won't be qualified, and there's a lot of misconceptions.
Yeah. I always feel like a lot of people that I start working with, they always get surprised when I start introducing them to information, because they have not had access to any information on programs or things that could help them without having to have an abundance of money saved,
Right.
or even perfect credit. Because I know the pressure, like the traditional way of thinking, was a lot of their parents might have experienced home buying a long time ago where a lot of these resources weren't available.
Yes, and so they had the big down payments.
Yes,
And
exactly, 20%, or things like that. Just a lot of intimidating information. So it's definitely a hard topic to approach if you don't think that you're already there. You know.
and
So
then
yeah.
And then I think too, with um, applying, even if you weren't qualified right away, Selena would be able to give you information of what you would have to do to get qualified. And it could be as small as paying off a small credit card, or, maybe two small credit cards, right?
Yeah, so I think as a loan officer, it's really our job. It's just that find out as much information as we can
Yes.
for all of our borrowers. So we try to make a connection with them, and because I have to be as close to their finances and as close to the person in order to know what kind of plan to create.
Right.
Because it's more of like a partnership. Like I want them to succeed because, like I said, at the end of the day, if they are not successful homeowners, we're not successful loan officers, right?
Or realtors.
Right,
That's
exactly.
very true.
So it's really just about working together and getting someone there. So you might not qualify, but you might not know how easy or how simple it might be for you to be qualified. So it could be just paying off a small credit card or even opening up a new credit card or something like
Right.
that. There's just so many things that we can inform people so that at least they know, either how to get started, how to set themselves up.
Right.
You know.
What would you say is the biggest myth?
I would say, gosh, there's only picking one is really hard.
I know.
There's so many, but I think the biggest myth is definitely the needing a lot of money to buy.
Right.
I think everyone thinks that they have to have a lot of money. I mean, obviously, with how the market is now, it's still a little bit of like a seller's market because of different factors. But you don't need to have 20% or 10% saved. There's a lot of programs that we can, discuss, I guess, in the later time, or you can always inquire about them. But that offer a lot of assistance.
Right.
So
The 100%
right,
programs.
100% programs, or even down payment assistance programs, or even closing cost assistance programs, is depending on what state you're in. And of course, in Virginia, there's a really good program that introduced many first-time homebuyers to.
And which program is that?
The VHDA program, which it's through the Virginia Housing Department, and there, if you're a first-time homebuyer, you can take advantage of, you know, exploring down payment assistance. They even, if your credit score is at a certain level, like I think 680, you can even finance all of your down payment and 1.5% of the closing costs.
See, and I think a
So,
lot of people just don't realize
right.
how much help is out there. So I think you're right. And then the people that are doing the second home, like the second homes have been a big thing. Are you seeing
Yeah.
that decline, or are you
So,
seeing it?
I think it all depends. I think a lot of people who are ready or more confident in buying, they want to buy second homes and investment properties because it is a really good time to buy an investment property. I've noticed a lot of people wanting to buy homes in places they might plan retire.
Right.
because take advantage of the market now. The interest rates are normal and they were very low, so a lot of people have uh, resorted to that option because they thought it was a good time to do so.
Yes, I've noticed in the lake we've had some people like the waterfront homes,
Mm-hmm.
their second homes. I've also noticed with COVID, and now it seems like things are getting more normal.
Mm-hmm.
So people were actually moving into their second homes.
Yeah.
And so we've seen a lot of different things there. Um,
Yeah, it's a really unique time.
it is a very unique, but it's a great time.
Yeah.
So like, I know people are worried, sometimes worry about what's going on in the world and stuff like that, but Selina and I were talking this morning before coming on this talk for Licata Live and realized, and just talking about what a great market it still is to buy in.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you spoke about when we were talking before Licata Live was about the investment of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of people should realize that a home is going to be one of the most expensive things that someone is going to invest in their lifetime. But it is a very secure investment, especially because it's like a savings account that you forget about because every time you pay a mortgage, you're putting it into your equity,
Right.
you know? So with that, who knows, like there's so many questionable things on how this market's going to go and what direction might go and things like that, but you'll still feel more relief when you have a secure asset that you can lay back on because through COVID a lot of people had to resort to refinancing their homes, not just to take advantage of the low interest rates, but to take advantage of the equity that they have in their house so that some of them could live off of.
Yes, and so that investment of real estate helped them get through that.
Mm-hmm.
So what are interest rates doing right now?
Right now they are, the feds are speaking of it predicting to go up by the end of the year. But I think when we think up, we're thinking like dramatically. But I believe that it's still very relative to what it was pre-COVID right now. So we might have been very swayed into believing that it is a high interest rate because of the advantages of the low interest rates that we saw happen through the pandemic. But right now, it's just normal. We have to accept that this is what was the norm and that it's still a great time to buy and invest because people that have bought in previous times know
Right.
in comparison that it's still a low rate.
When I
know?
started in real estate, the interest rates were between 12 and 15%. So
Right.
it is relative, and they are
Mhm.
still low. So we're talking about them raising, but Selena, you had said they even came down a little bit today.
Yes, because of some things going on in current events, that does affect the rates. So depending on what direction that's going to take, we'll have a better idea if it's going to decline. But I think if things normalize, like I said, the Feds did predict that it was going to go up a little bit higher by the end of the year.
And when you say we're talking like 4%,
yeah,
and
between
4% is still
5 would be the max.
and still great rates. And so if you are in the market of buying right now would be the time to go ahead and buy. And then if you're selling, we need the inventory, so it's a great time to sell and buy. And Selena is going to be coming to do Licata Live once a month with us. So any questions that you have, you can put them in the chat, or if you have questions a little bit later, you can put them in there a little later. We'll always come back
to them.
Yep, and come back and answer them. I wanted to give you a couple updates on our upcoming events. So we have the Community Shred Day that's coming on April 30th. It was such a great event. Last year when we did it, we also donate to the fire department, and we have the Taco Tuesday food truck will be here.
So what is the Community Shred Day?
So the Community Shred...
I've never
Oh, no problem.
attended it,
The Community Shred Day is where people can bring all of their important sensitive documents that they don't want to just throw away.
Oh, wow.
So we have a big huge truck out in the parking lot. We do a circular, and they drive up, and we help them get their stuff, throw it in the bin, it gets shredded.
Oh, nice. That's really
So It was such a success last year. Everybody loved it. Everybody absolutely loved it. We got a lot of great feedback from it, so that's why we're doing it again. So, and then the other thing we have on March 26th, if you are looking to buy or if you are looking to sell your home, we have the free home seller seminar. It's on the 26th. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. It will be at the Lake of the Woods Clubhouse, and we're going to talk about the current state of the market, preparing your home to sell, what buyers are looking for in a home, and receiving the most money for your home. And we'll also have some light refreshments. So we look forward to you coming to both of these events. And is there anything you would like to end on for Summit Mortgage, or anything you'd like to add for the mortgage business?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like I said, don't feel intimidated or make it difficult to approach us at any time. We're a call, a text, an email away. So if you want any information and you want facts and you want options to talk about, or advice, just come in and talk to us. We're human.
Right. And
we've all have the same experiences with this and the same doubts or questions. So don't hesitate to ask anything. And then I always like to push like local lenders, obviously, because we're conveniently located in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I think the positives of working with somebody that's familiar with your community is really important, because you won't just get generalized facts, from California or
Right.
New York or anything like that. You'll get something that's more relative to, what we see in our community. So it's going to be more helpful in the long run.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah.
I think that is definitely a great point. So don't definitely think about buying and reaching out to the Licata group to buy. We look forward to working with you, and I know that Selina and the Summit team definitely look forward to working with you guys too when you're ready. So this has been Licata Live for this Tuesday, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, this has been fun.
Yes, it has been fun.
Yeah.
So you guys have a great day. Thanks. I'm so used to touchscreen.
There we go.
Thank you.